Good afternoon to everyone. I believe it's been a long time that since the last cooking class that we did together. We skipped last week, I believe, yes, Harry, right?
Yes.
Yeah, correct. So today, thank you first of all to watching us as usual. And today we will do something that is a steak, which doesn't require really much on preparation. But before I start, I would like to also tell something about what will happen starting from the next week on the 3rd of September. We're gonna open in our beautiful terrace our outlet, which will be a Fiamma restaurant and as well a tapas restaurant. So please come. We will be here to assist you, and hopefully we will meet. If there is something that we can do for you. We'll be always for you there. Then, starting for our steak, which will be tagliata style, meaning cut by strip, if you want to say, So we have a beautiful ribeye steak, okay, Angus beef. Then we have some herbs for the cooking and garlic cloves for the cooking. We have some semi-dry tomato, which is made by just a simple little bit tomato by cut half, a little bit of thyme leaves, a little bit of sugar. We have some a piece of lemon, which is being cut by half and roasted on the side, which will be presented. Then for garnish as well, this plate we're gonna use the polenta, which is the corn flour, polenta flour. We're gonna do it simple with the corn flour polenta, butter, Parmesan cheese, and cream. The seasoning will be also salt and pepper. The sea salt will be used as well for giving the last touch of the steak, to enhance the stability of the flavor of the meat. Then, of course, for garnish as well, we will have a bit of parsley, rocket leaves, which is the local one, and oyster mushroom, and some shaving parmesan. We will do as well a bit of parmesan fondue, which is not really required really much time to do it. It's just a cream reduced with the parmesan cheese. And so we can start. I will start to place my gloves as usual. You know, I don't use a mask just for the purpose that I want to be clear as much as possible with my body language, let you understand what I'm doing, since my English is not the best one. So we'll start. So first of all, we will heat the pan, right? We will add the butter over here, beautiful. Okay, then garlic. Oh, sorry, I protect the wrong one. Garlic. It will give a little bit of flavor. Olive oil, which is to let the butter don't get burned. Simply, in the other side, what we're gonna do, we're gonna start to place as well our butter. For preparing the polenta, We're gonna do soft polenta. Then a bit of cream. The seasoning of salt. This is important in this case.
Is it both olive oil and butter?
Yeah, olive oil and butter. And the reason why we put olive oil and butter is just because we don't want the butter to get burned, because it will, we call it break point, or it's less than 160 degrees. So whenever you put olive oil, which is the break point over the 160 degrees, automatically it will not burn. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do, I will just simply seasoning my steak. Okay, beautiful. Okay, salt, pepper, No? Better to have actually some black pepper. Not that is look the same. It's exactly the same family, but there's different process. The black coming from the green pepper. The black pepper is toasted, and the green pepper is not. So white pepper is not being toasted. So now I start to cook my steak. Gently, of course, reduce the temperature. Okay. Then on the other side, I prefer this one is a little bit more soft, right? On the other side, what I'm gonna do, I will start to place my polenta. This polenta is calling instantaneous, meaning that doesn't require really much on cooking. Usually to prepare the polenta, it takes even more than half an hour if the polenta is not being treated. But this one doesn't take really so much time. So what I'm gonna do, it takes probably 5 minutes. Once the water starts to boil, with again I place on the water butter and cream. I start to place little by little the flour on it, the polenta flour.
So I have a question. Someone asking, where is the meat from? Which country?
The meat that we are using, the meat is Angus beef, so US Angus beef. And we have here, we are using in our alabar. And when I see that the density of the polenta start to get thicker, I start to turn it until it will start to be cooked. Okay.
So someone is asking, how well done is your steak?
Usually, if it's already go over than 55 degrees, the steak, the protein of the steak is in the heart of the temperature. On the heart of the meat is already well done. So then, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start to cook this one. There, yes, beautiful. I will place a lot of Parmesan cheese, and probably need some more Parmesan cheese. Then I keep aside, okay? Well, if you want a well done, there is many tricks. Okay, if you want to do well done steak as fast as possible. Okay, the first trick will be first of all, then your meat, your meat. If you cut thinner, of course, will cook faster, right? Okay. Then, if you can see over here on the side, the meat here. Okay, the meat already start to change color. Okay, this will give you like the grade of cooking from the center of the meat, because the heat comes from the bottom to the top. Okay, so automatically, if you have, of course, a fire that is not really high, okay, automatically what will happen that the temperature will be gradually go from the bottom to the top, right? So it will probably gradually start to cook from the inside, right? But if you cut thicker the meat, okay, at some point if you have a really high cut of the meat, it's required as well to use the oven. We are talking about here which is a ribeye, which is around 400 grams. It's not like a thick meat, which is like the coq de beef, or coq de beurre, which is like 350 grams if it's veal or between 700 to 1 kilo with the bones. Okay, so we are talking about something that is slightly thinner, so it will require less time. okay? But as long as it reach the temperature over the 55 to 65 degrees, the meat is already well done. Okay, you will see. Now, one important thing that we have to consider as well, that when you are doing the meat, it should rest and at the same time required for you to cook the meat. Okay, if I cook the meat for 5 minutes, I will rest the meat at least for another 5 minutes. And the reason why I'm doing this, because I want that the muscle, okay, the muscle of the, which I mean, the meat, which is a muscle, considered as a muscle, once it start to get heat, okay, it start to get tight from inside the fiber. So you probably want the meat start to get rest, and the fiber as well will be less less tight. If you, for example, try to cut the meat now, most of the juices, which is the blood of the meat, will tend to go out. But once the meat is at rest, your juice will remaining over there. Okay. So now, if you can give me the same one, but no. Now, so what I'm gonna do, I will prepare the cheese fondue, which is very simple. Okay. I will just place here the cream. We'll start to reheat. So on the side, what I'm gonna do again, I put a little bit more of butter to finish the meat, okay, and to cook my mushroom after from it. Again, a bit of olive oil. Then I start to clean the mess. Then what we're gonna do, once here start to get warm up, okay. We'll start to place the cheese and the salt on it. A nice combination, since we are using that as well, some since we are using some mushroom, would be also to use some truffle paste, truffle oil if you have, preferably white truffle oil. No? Here I just put the oyster mushroom, okay. And then of course seasoning with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, okay. Here we go. You gotta flash it for 2 minutes inside the oven, 1 minute inside the oven, and just flash up because we are already done. Yeah, just flash. We'll go 3 bit. We're almost done. You feel the smell of the Parmesan cheese?
Yeah. So I have a question asking, where can I find the items to cook this in Bahrain?
Where you can find the item?
To cook all of this in Bahrain, like the steak.
You can. I will not say the name of the market, okay? Because I don't think it's fair for the other vendor, right? But usually, if you go in a normal market, like you can find it. You find oyster mushroom, you find semi-dry tomato, or you can find everything that is available. Probably you will not find easily the Angus beef. Maybe you find New Zealand, maybe you find from Australia, maybe you find even Brazilian, okay? Because probably Angus beef you can find in a particular vendor, but the result will be, let's say, almost comparable, okay, to the Angus beef, as long the marble, which is the fat side of the meat, is there. I mean, if there is enough fat inside your meat, you have to look inside the meat, the fat. Aniket, if you can bring me one steak, please. Not even cut, just give me the steak. The one from the butcher. Yeah, the ribeye, the full piece of ribeye. I will show you what actually give a nice flavor to tenderness and flavor to the meat. But again, you can find in all market. You don't need to be you don't need to go out from Bahrain. You will find everywhere. Any other question?
No.
And if you want, after Madam or Sir, you can send me. You can give me the. Give it to you the mail, and I will personally give you the information about the vendor. Okay. Then what we're gonna do? Simply, we're gonna start to do our. Change my gloves first. Plate.
So can you tell us what you're cooking? Some people are asking.
Yeah, this one is ribeye steak, tagliata style. Okay. So now this is one of the most important things. You find it's called fleur de sel, or you can find Maldon salt, which is taken from Maldon. Okay, just place over here. Automatically it will enhance a lot of your flavor. Yeah, you can keep like this. So if you can see over here, when you have to have a piece of meat, you have to look into this, okay? This marbling, okay? It automatically will give more tenderness to your meat and more sweetness. Fat is sweet, you know? So it's very important to think about when you're taking meat to look into the contents of fat over here. Otherwise, your meat will be have less tenderness. It will be less pleasant elsewhere to eat. So tagliata, why tagliata? Because it's cut, okay? Usually you can cut like by strip, which is the most common way to cut. In this case, what I will do, I just cut by half, which I like the most, okay? And the meat, as you can see, you see, it's being raised, so there is not much juice that are going out, no? Even if you press, you know, there is no juice that is going out, so it's perfectly rest. Now what I'm gonna do, I will simply, thank you, I will place my polenta, okay. Then if this polenta, which probably my colleagues will do it, okay, you can place on the simply on the tray, let them chill down, and then when it's chilled down, you can cut by chunk, you can buy by round, you can even pan fry, you know, you can even deep fry, will look like chips if you want. Okay, I will got here the piece of meat, we'll simply place over here. Okay. Beautiful. Then we'll put one piece of the garlic which was used before, right? Then here got my herbs. Maybe we'll put one like this, right? What do you think? It's fine.
Yes.
Then I have my beautiful oyster mushroom. Which I can go all over this. Then I think it's enough. And then I will add a bit of rocket leaves, no? With my parsley oil, okay, which I will below. Well, with everything. Not to look onto perfection. I don't have a look onto perfection. The more go around, the better is it. Then here I have beautiful parsley, parmesan shave. Again, I think I covered too much the meat. I think I covered too much the meat of the blanket. It will be like this. Okay. This. Yeah, I think it's fine. Our semi-dry tomato. And our cheese fondant. It's what we can call a kind of comfort food, right? Buon appetito a me, because I'm gonna eat it. And thank you so much for watching us, and hopefully see you soon. And don't forget, on the 3rd of September we're gonna open Fiamma restaurant and tapas. Please come to visit us. I will be there for you. And have a nice evening, and bye bye. Thank you.